Bit of possible guitar work to do. Beautiful ESP that I just don't play enough. Like I insisted on getting this guitar. It was so imperative that I get one with the EMG 81s in it, and then now it turns out I don't know, the 81s may be too low of output. Yeah, so I put blackouts in it, and I don't know if I like those, but I liked them before. I really loved my blackouts before, so maybe I'm just being weird. But anyway, um, let's see, what's the issue here? The the seventh string, the low string, is just too buzzy for me, and the action's pretty damn high for it to be so buzzy. So let me have a look at things. I've modified my oil slick bar. This is oil slick. I'm a BMXer. We need as much oil slick as we can get. So, but they didn't make a push-in bar for oil slick, and I can't stand the screw-in bars. So I I put in a push-in one, an antique. That's as close to oil slick as I could get, but it's not oil slick. So, and they're shorter. So I tried bending them to get it the same, but it was just too pointy. So I dropped a little bearing inside here so that it can't go all the way in. And now it's about the same spot. So that's cool. But let's see why this thing's buzzing. Um, I keep toying with the idea of putting the 81 back in, but I don't think so. It's so much lower output that it really does make a difference. The blackouts in the 707s or whatever the things are in my other guitar that I play more often, they're closer to the same output volume. So I guess one thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna check the height first. Where is this thing? I have a feeling that I have this about the same as I have all my other guitars, which is pretty ridiculously low, but I've seen lower. And so let me get some stronger glasses on here. So I'm gonna check for like 125. This is a Stu Mac card. I showed you a couple of weeks ago. I got a different guitar tech kit, or guitar repair kit thing. It was like $30. This card by itself is $30. The other one came with the card that was actually more functional than this one. So I don't necessarily recommend this Stu Mac card. And so at the 12th fret, I got a millimeter on this thing. That's probably really low. Like ESP and everybody, the factory spec, they say like 125, 150, I think. So maybe I'll raise this up. Let me see where 125 would be. It's not by much, but put it on the low E or high E. Sorry, high E is about a millimeter. Uh, so anal with these things. I mean, it really is close to 125. There's definitely relief on here. I hold the first fret down. Seeing a clacker right there. So let me just let's just say that this is the right height. Let me grab a fret rocker. So this kit, it actually came with a lot of stuff I don't need. There's a lot of files in here which are probably of dubious quality. One thing I really like though is this. This is it's like a wrench. It's only one direction, so you got to flip it around to use it. It sounds like it'd be a pain in the ass, but it's actually very, very handy for not scratching your guitar parts. So I'm going to get this fret rocker, and really that'd be a better angle to have the camera down on the lower. Let me see if I can do that. Then things are going to be upside down, right? Sure. Let me try. try this one. I point it really far down. Oh, it's backwards. Why is that not sticking? No, that doesn't work. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, why is this backwards? Would this matter if I... Yeah, why do I have this backwards? Flip this around. Horizontal, okay. Alright, so that's better for this. I'm just gonna look at... I don't know if you've used these fret rockers before, but you cover 3 frets, and then you can feel if one's high because it'll knock around on here, and I can tell there's something wrong here already. Good, not good. And what I should do is just level this whole damn fretboard right now. I may not do that. Let's see. I'm just gonna get an idea of what's going on here. So I'm gonna mark these. Let me get a pen. There's my fret marking pen. Get a rock. Right here. 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 So what I'm gonna do, and this isn't normally, not really, should probably try and level this fretboard, but I think I did that when I got this guitar. What I want to do is get some of my fretware files out. This one of these boxes came with a ton of. I don't think any of these files are actually fret files. They're too goofy. Let me get some fret files out. I've got a bunch of different fret files. This is the StewMac medium wide. This is your traditional fret file. Here's one of their diamond. No, yeah. Here's one of their diamond ones. Pretty expensive. Doesn't seem to work very well for me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. But has a pretty much a 150 side and a 300 side. You just flip around in here. A 300 grit side, you know. And then here, this seems to be the one that works the best for me. This is a traditional one, kind of. I think this is from Luther's Mercantile or something. I don't like any of them. And I don't think they need to be as troublesome as they are. I'm not a professional Luther or whatever, but you know, I did get my start as a guitar tech. StewMac now has these Z files, and I'm going to try one of those because they're ground in a way that it shouldn't knock the top off of your work. I don't know if you can see these. Any of these will knock the top off of a fret. I don't want it to knock the top off of a fret unless I specifically am trying to do it. In this case, I actually want it to knock the top off a fret. But when you're crowning, you don't want that. So I'm gonna do like this is your quick and dirty. Let me stuff something in here. I'm just gonna slack the strings a little bit with the rag. Okay. And I'm just going to take this fret file, lift up the strings, and I'm going to give it crowning right at that spot till that black line comes off. Which frightfully it has. And, you know, this is the wide one. This is supposed to be for these jumbo frets, you know? Just that little bit. So now it's going to be scratchy. You got to touch these up after you do this, but I'm going to do that right this second. Here's the diamond one. I'm going to put it on 300. Now this one, of course, should no way chop the top of the fret off, but let's watch. In the danger with doing this, you see what's happening. I could easily put a low spot in the fret. It just one part. So that's why it's better to level the whole neck. So this is off now. Let's get this last one. You get the traditional file. We'll do the exact same thing. So one side is supposed to be wide, one side is supposed to be narrow. Both of them are too narrow for these kind of frets, I think. This is the hardest one for me to use, but when if you got the strings off and you're doing it for real, I think that the Z file, which is shaped just like this, should be good. Now that one just wiped the top of the fret off in that fast. Like the other one you saw, it'd take me a little longer. Let me pull this rag out. And let's check the rocking again. So we had a rock right here. Maybe it's still there a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so it goes away really pretty quickly, but it's still there. So we're gonna knock this down a little bit more. Try the 11th fret had one. Still there a little bit. And you know, you could fool yourself because it could be a low fret too. So you gotta use your wits, like when you're on the end. You know, you're not hard to know for sure. This one, what was the other one? Now I forget. It's right here, right? Just the 13th, 14th. Let's see. Still a tiny bit. What was the other one? Wasn't there another one? Maybe not. Okay. Let's try this again. Rag back in. You know, I could do this I could pull the strings or whatever, but this is it's a quicker way, I think. So I should get one of those little blocky things, though. That would make life a lot simpler. Take this diamond one to it again. This is where one of those neck tensioning jigs would come in kind of handy. Okay, the area of trouble is much smaller now, but I'm gonna get this down. Now remember, when you slack the strings like this, you're changing the relationship a little bit. This neck is probably gonna have a whole lot more back bow without the strings there counteracting that force, right? Let's try this one. See, these ones are so easy to chatter. I don't like the diamond ones are a little bit safer that way. My eyes may just be too bad. Okay, no more rock. Remember, like I say in this, we're getting into the relief territory here, so this can be not so accurate with the strings off. I don't know if you see me rocking this side to side a little bit, but that's kind of how I like to crown. Maybe the wrong thing to do. Other people might have different opinions, but that's how I like to do it. Feel a little bit safer that way. But I think with the proper you know, that Z file or whatever. I want to see how that's going to behave with that. Okay, I'll take the bind of this diamond one now. Okay, so that's feeling good. Oh, sorry. Hey. What's that? Is that what that was about? Hold on, let me mute this.
Who is it?
There were. Not sure if this is gonna be in tuned. Calibra gem the best. Is that a Luis, is that a fret file? Crowning file? Oh, let me see. Um Calibra gem. I'm hunting pecking. Um I don't know. Calibra. Um, huh. Maybe maybe it's a different name than I'm not sure. Um, there we go. So these have been knocked down a little bit. I wouldn't say crowned because really you want to sand these things smooth after you hitting them with the crowning file. Just want to see if this feels any better. All right. How do you stop the camera from bouncing around? Annoying. Yeah, you see how much mess I got to deal with today. Wow, it actually is way better. I didn't expect that. Wow. Okay. Well, you know, I was expecting to be on here for a bit, talking about some stuff, but I still got to set this tremolo stabilizer thing a little bit better. And it looks like this is actually messed up. So let me plug this in, find out. Um, just gotta get. I should check in tuner real quick. See that you saw it. You know, it's stuck the rag in there, and now this thing is acting different. It's a lot wigglier than it should be. So, and oh, I'm plugged into the wrong. I plugged it. Do this. Okay. Pop up Reaper real quick. Tune. I have a special thing for obs up here. Let me see if I can find it. The spring really got weak. I'm probably just gonna stick a screwdriver in here and tighten the spring. So I could show you. I have the tremolo thingamabobber on here, but I can tell by looking at it that it's not. Yeah, the something weak in the spring, and the way this tremolo, this backstop thing works is you're using your tremolo springs to smash up against kind of a stopper. The stopper's actually a spring, but it's giving you enough force to counteract the tremolo spring a little bit. You know, what's probably going to happen is I'm just going to end up going back to dive only, honestly. But I'm trying not to. I'm really trying to embrace the more floaty floats of the tremolo. So let me just going to tighten the tremolo springs up a little bit. See if that brings that down. And I had this pretty loose. I didn't even have it to the point like where I could bend. Like if I bent the G, the tremolo's moving. But I played for like a year and something with the fully floating Floyd. Wow, there's some alliteration for you. And I liked it, so I kind of like. Let's see, there we go. Once it knocks up against that thing, it's going to be in tune. Sorry. Wow, this A was buzzing so bad before. My low, I have it in drop A. It's still so easy to move this tremolo. And yeah, it's wiggly. It should not be wiggly. Okay, let me see why that is. I'm gonna pop this cavity just real quick. We're gonna see. I just want to check and make sure there's not something really weird going on here. So, second, and then my little spacer is gonna fall out, which I don't want to happen. Here it is. Maybe I'll hot glue to it, or maybe I'll. All right. Well, don't get distracted right now. And again, yeah, I know I need an electric screwdriver. yeah, this. See, I had to have this guitar, and it was like it was so hard to even find it. It wasn't that, I just wanted a 7-string, 25.5-inch scale neck through body with 2 humbuckers, and man, it was hard to find during that time. And so this one, it still has the plastic on it. Like, I still haven't even, I don't know if I changed batteries on this thing yet. So it's just being really wiggly. I don't know if the if the backstop became uncalibrated, or if the springs are weaker or something. All I did was put that that rag in here, and that really ended up making some trouble. Tighten the tremolo springs a tiny bit more and see. But what I don't want is to tighten them so much that it starts pushing this plunger here. Let's see. So I don't want it to push the plunger, and it's right on the edge here. So, but I'm not, I'm using these little pads on here, which it's not as solid of a contact. I know, but I'm really crazy about that stuff. I'm probably gonna take those off and just straight slam into it, because I'll feel a little bit more confident about it. But in all honesty, what's probably gonna happen is I'm probably gonna just convert these things to dive only, like I used to have. But we'll see. So let me try this tremolo with the without the lowering thing. Maybe I like it that low. I don't know. Maybe my hands hit. I never really grab the bar like most people do, though. I just push on it. All right, I'm still not all that confident about this hit. It feels like it's really wiggly. It feels like I just don't have enough spring. And this used to be in an aero configuration, so it is less. I could throw another spring on here if I had to. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to get into going against the other tension here. But it feels like I can put quite a bit more force on here. Not sure why putting that rag in there really messed it up like that. That's kind of scaring me. I mean, I can tighten these springs a lot, and it would still feel fine. I mean, these are 8s. And I keep toying with the idea of getting one of those Sailor or whatever SureClaws, so I don't have to deal with any of this. Okay, so now I can feel it clacking against. It's still not a very solid connection. I think it's because of those pads on there. When I bend it, it's going up. Like, I usually have these things so tight that you won't even move when you bend. So. But if I can fully dive bomb with one finger, I'm pretty happy. So I like keeping that tension down, but again, I also am paranoid. So let me up the tension some more. And I can always take this down. No big deal. Really even this out. But I don't want it going through that plunger. That feels pretty solid. Do I have something else I wanted to show today? Not right now, I don't think. Nobody's really out there right now, so that's okay. But I probably, I don't know. Now it's hitting this. This is too low. I'm gonna put this thing. I have this little I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's part of a bike part. I probably broke something off. It's like a helicoil. And I just dropped it in there. I could drop a bearing in, or I could hot glue something to the bottom of this thing, or I'm not sure what, but because this will fall out pretty easy. But I mean, I gotta have my oil slick, man. Alright, so that, I really am happy about how that changed the buzzing on the low A. Let me see, because I was going through some. We're working on this Dio cover band, Dio tribute band. And because I got a 7-string, a lot of times I'm moving stuff up the neck a little bit more than where it's normally played, and it was buzzing so bad that I couldn't. trying to remember what it was. Was like I had to play up here on the low A string, and it was just crappy. Now it feels great. Yeah, what song was it? I think it might probably Rainbow in the Dark or Last in Line or something. Oh yes, I can feel. I've got to go back and sand these down where I use the crowning file because it's kind of scratchy now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do an audio delay to make up for the camera delay. Um, Maybe we could try that right now. Let's actually I have to calculate that. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.